oasis, the lungs of the city, and a model for green spaces around the globe. Opened in the winter of 1859, when residents first skated on its man-made lakes, Central Park has served as a playground, a theater, and a precious backyard to millions of New Yorkers and visitors alike. In the mid-1800s, some 500,000 New Yorkers lived in cramped tenements, mostly below 38th Street. They socialized in public squares and picnicked on cemetery lawns. A handful held keys to small private retreats like Gramercy Park, which still thrives on East 20th Street today. A wealthy merchant, Robert Minturn, was among the first to lobby for an opulent green space that would outshine parks in London and Paris. New York's wealthy argued that a grand park would offer a venue for afternoon carriage rides, while providing the working class with an alternative to the saloon. Poet and Evening Post editor William Cullen Bryant also championed the need for a park. Along with landscape designer Andrew Jackson Downing, Bryant persuaded city officials to set aside land in the rapidly growing city. In 1853, a 700-acre swath located between 59th and 106th Streets and between 5th and 8th Avenues was claimed by right of eminent domain. With its swamps and rocky terrain, the $5 million plot was considered undesirable for commercial development. Building Central Park would displace more than 1,500 residents, including those of Seneca Village, a unique multi-ethnic community of Irish pig farmers, German gardeners, and African-American landowners. The Greensward Plan was the winner of a public design competition held in 1857, submitted by landscape designer Frederick Law Olmsted and architect Calvert Vaux. The plan featured meadows, formal gardens, and woodsy trails designed to appeal to all social classes. With its sunken transverse roads and separate paths for pedestrians, horseback riders, and vehicles, the massive landscaping project employed some 20,000 laborers. Gunpowder was used to blast the terrain, and horses carted millions of loads in and out, including soil hauled in to plant trees. Despite its democratic design, Central Park catered to the upper crust in its early years. Group picnics were banned. Concerts were held on Saturdays when most workers had only Sundays off, and schoolboys needed permission to play ball. As the century came to a close, park commissioners loosened the reins. The carousel was installed, bicyclists were permitted, and the zoo took up permanent residence. 20 years after the Greensward Plan was initiated, the park was mostly complete. In 1934, Robert Moses, the famous urban planner, added ball fields, handball courts, and the Woolman ice rink. The park suffered a period of neglect, but rebounded in the 1980s with the help of the newly formed Central Park Conservancy. A National Historic Landmark, Central Park has set the stage for an array of world-class events, from Shakespeare in the Park and Metropolitan Opera performances to visits from Pope John Paul II, Simon and Garfunkel, and the Dalai Lama. Today, Central Park attracts 25 million visitors a year and features countless attractions. Located near Metropolitan Museum, the granite Cleopatra's Needle dates from 1500 BC and was a gift from Egypt in 1880. The blockhouse near the park's northern end is an official fort from the War of 1812. With its Imagine mosaic and exotic plants, Strawberry Fields near West 72nd Street memorializes John Lennon, who lived in the nearby Dakota Building. There's the roller disco scene at the mall, dining at Tavern on the Green, the reservoir that Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis jogged around, and an information booth housed in the whimsical 1870s dairy. And in keeping with tradition, there's a lineup of horses chomping at the bit to give carriage rides once around the park.